Yeah, greetings, y'all. How y'all doing? I love the sun. I swear, man. I gotta find my place in years to come to be, uh, back home where the sun is shining on a whole different level, a whole brand to a new dynamic. Ain't that right? Because the closer you are to that equator, yeah, 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 yeah. However, it's odd that I say that when I had an opportunity in which I don't say I regret it, but because still America is not the place where I look to stay, God willing. But while I was in South America, Guyana, and that's much more closer to the equator, which being here in New York City is not. You know, things started to change for me in a way as far as my body, my skin. You know, um, so look, man, I don't have to get into that right now. What I'm really here to bring is this. I just had a talk with two ladies in the Popeyes, you know, and they were Jehovah's Witness, and of course, they consort to the Bible. That's their choice of weaponry, medicine, prescription, and otherwise, right? With all due respect, of course. And we had a good exchange, and I'm sure that they drew something from it as much as I have in regards to being put in remembrance of some things more than anything else. And so we got to a point where I expressed to them how I sometimes use profanity. And I do so in measure in which I always look to use discretion. I don't like to curse in front of kids. And there were some times where there were a few flags on the play in which some profanity did come out of my mouth in the presence of some kids. It did slip out. And I would consider that to be a breach of the spirit. In measure. Not to say that the breach is of the demonic force. I don't look to kill nobody. We got to know how to put things into context and know how to, as I shared with people, know how to quest that book. And actually, if we got revised books out there, then that book can surely be revised. In fact, it has been. Because there's many different versions of it. Okay? There's many versions that came before and after that KJV, with all due respect. Alright? I can't be out here, even though I know and I have acknowledged that some of my ancestors, I gave benefit of the doubt that, yeah, they may be part of that line that done bad onto the Creator, the Holy Creator, the Universal God Force, in which we were put into subjugation. We were put into slavery. We were continually chastised until repentance and atonement was fulfilled by each man, woman, and child. Hence the reason we need to break generational curses, which is very tough, but we can do it. So, it's hard for me to accept these names. I try not to get too caught up with names, although they do have some. It is. I have a name. Okay, you and I have a name, and we're going to be we're going to want to be remembered and known in our hereafter. You know what I mean? But I guess the way that things were taught to me, and when it comes to names like Jehovah and Jesus, I mean, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. It does. Reason being is because, for the fact I grew up. Look, I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I grew up with neighbors who were in the church. You know, so have you. And we always, as we do today, got many people who does consort to a religious house. But my thing is this, as I told the ladies, I get it, I understand, but this is not something that I asked for. I am 41 years young, no illegitimate children. I don't consort to one house, even though I have different. Uh, there are different religious bodies within my whole entire family, not just my immediate biological family, my cousins, aunts. You know, I don't have. Well, I don't have any uncles on my mother's side. I have uncles on my father's side. But yeah, I am who I am. I didn't ask for this. For the particular awakening, the consciousness, the bombardment of thoughts, and the revelations upon esoteric things and whatnot. But I have to accept it. Yes, it's an honor. But this is exactly why I use profanity in measure, because when I come, as I come, I put out requests and I get nothing. Where I see how the media works, I see how the government works in part, and I know I got my job to do to edify and teach. I do. We all do, in fact. Just to get things in line, nothing spooky. And this is exactly why I don't hate anybody. I hate the human condition. And I may come out and say things against my European family when I reference scientific matters like genetic disposition or recessiveness. I don't put it in a way, I don't contextualize it to mock them, okay? I do so to draw up a point, to lend understanding as I see things, as I'm being shown the large picture. Do you understand? I think that's what we have. I think what we have is, because especially from our people from the hood, and the things that we were indoctrinated with and rather inculcated with, is that we were taught, hate the white man, this, that, and the third. Well, we know that many things has happened by the hands of those of the European unions. Well, European Union, which embodies everyone of European descent. Many things has happened by them, to them, just as we have done some things from the beginning of time, hence there as existentiality. You know how deep I just went right there, man? Now, as I get to learn more about our spiritual counterparts and the relationship, the inseparable relationship of spirit and physical, well, it's sorcery. There is a source out here that invoke people. It takes, well, people take on possession in addition to what we're trying to learn and obtain and retain as far as education. So we have the spirit, and we have that of the flesh, which has come about a war within itself, yeah? There's many levels of warfare. And so I understand. Love conquers all. But we've been saying that for years, but we still got homosexuality and all this wickedness taking place. Why? Why? What is it conducive to? Like, I don't, you know what? I'm gonna give the example here, as I've done in the past, but you can't put a mango seed in a mango seed or on top of a mango seed and get life. You're not going to bear fruit that way. Just as the man carries the seed of life that goes into the earth, which is the woman, her water breaks. What do you need? What element do you need to grow your fruits, vegetables, and herbs? Water. Before the baby is born, what happens? Her water breaks, but it's still out there. And before they try, those folks will try to say, well, hey, look, what can I do? What role do I take? They they got too much pride. And see, that's how the beast works. I even had some people try to tell me or infer that, yo, man's failure, a part of man's failure is his pride. I don't got no pride issues. I may have some other issues in regards of, talking out in the public. I would have to say I got some work to do in that department. But to me, it don't have to do nothing with pride. If anything, it has to do with anger, frustration, temperance, patience with people, in which it's kind of hard, not even kind, it is hard for me to achieve and rather acquiesce to when we have the prevalence of wickedness in this place. I said that Martin Luther King died for civil rights, so people are now dying for gay rights. That man is turning over in his grave. Do y'all know what that means to be fighting for civil rights? We being in this country, they didn't even see us as being civil. We were relegated to a beastly form, seemingly in their eyes, because of what? We were chastised, we were cursed, but yet we still embody what we embody, and we still have the capacities for most, being the melanated people. But such a great man came, died, took one in the neck, passed on. He died for civil rights, so we can be known to be civil people. Some people now dying for gay rights. Because two men don't bring life, two women don't bring life. I just gave you an example. You can't put two fruit seeds together. You can't put an apple. You can't even try to graft an apple seed and any other seed, and then you're going to get life. Without that earth. We came here by conceptual decree of man and woman. This is not just Jesus or Buddha. Okay? People, too many people is caught up with that too, man. It's really, I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated, y'all. I'm frustrated. I know a lot of people are frustrated out there too. I've said that I went on like a hiatus. I was eating different. Even now that I'm back into the ways of the world, let's say in regards of eating, okay, I may have a piece of meat here and there. I don't try to make excuses, in which I've heard that before out here. I know how the beasts work. Oh, they try to make excuses. It's premeditated on what they're going to do. And they're going to say this and that to continue to make excuses for their indulgences and yada, yada, yada. Well, if you know that's what it is, beast, it takes one to know one. So what are you doing? What are you pushing out here? Huh? I'm learning you more and more as I'm learning self. Excuse me. Let me tell y'all, man. We talk so much about our European family. They got order. They got their battles as much as we do. But damn it, they got places where I know it's clean, way cleaner than how we got it in the hood. Not because we in the hood, it got to be dirty. We have many people that put out songs, music from the heart. The Philadelphia All-Star Band. Clean up the neighborhood. Pull it up. But we went from having that kind of music, brothers, those kind of prominent men. Well, let me not say prominent, because Got to be careful with that because the minute people talk about celebrities, we automatically want to revere them as being or glorify them as being all holy and whatnot. No, they just have a talent which they are using to bring about a change in the world and also get some gain some capital. But for all of that came before us, in addition to the Martin Luther King, what do we have today in 2025? Where they're now putting gay flags on churches. Is that the book itself condemns that. I mean, is what I'm saying not making sense, y'all? They want to tell me I got pride issues, but those who was in that pride family, they the ones that really got the pride issues because they don't even know how to step to me and come to me. Oh, that dude ain't making no money. I ain't talking to him. Oh, it's money now. You dumb ignoramus. I'm gonna stop right there, huh? It's sad too. It's sad, especially when it comes from your own. I tell you, boy. I tell you. I told people that I'm open. I opened myself up. I did that. Nothing wrong with some vulnerability because you give your life to the public and you know who you're dealing with and what you're dealing with. As we continue to make distinctions amongst our communities and thus and so, if you gotta put your stuff out there, you put your art form. I mean, you do what you do, and then what do you get back? Weigh it out. There's no reason why. Look, man. Anyway, I've said to people that I went on a hiatus, I went on a cleanse, I did a sexual fast, a meat eating fast, a dairy fast. I was going hard with the fruits and vegetables. I said that countless of times. And it's like nobody ever said, well, look, I'm gonna try that too. Or they asked me, what time, and what kind of time frame did you give yourself or yada yada yada. They don't ask no questions to get more in depth. Why? Because we think we all that. But I've come to understand that a lot of tricks has been played, games has been played due to wordplay and words that we speak to one another or upon one another with conviction, level of conviction, in which we've said countless of times, words cast spells. And it's like, well, some people will say, yo, it's not meant for everybody. That's the beast talking. It is for everybody. The harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. The laborers don't have to stay a few. Trust me when I tell you. That's all part of the game to keep us docile, to keep us low, excusable. How was it not meant for everybody? When these religions, these books is given on to everybody, published into the public. Oh, it's not for everybody. But these religions is out here onto everybody. Do that make any goddamn sense? Stop playing with that beast, man. Straighten up. And if you get moved in such a way, when I speak certain words, that's because I'm shaking that devil up. I'm shaking that up in you. In which you need to do your further work to get it the hell on up out of here. Hey, where you going, man? Oh, all right, man. I'll see you another day. You know, I'm hurt, man. Y'all don't know how much I hurt, man. I shared that I have been ostracized from my family and whatnot. I know we all, everybody in my family, they got kids, they got their, wives, and You know, my sisters got their husbands. But that don't mean it got to be the way that it is, man. It's like, yo, in addition to what we have these continual battles, and I tell you, yeah, man. So, hey, look, I feel like I need a drink right now, but I ain't gonna do that. I could have got that on my way here, but I didn't. I said I'm gonna chill. I put down that black and mild, even though I had one last night, and I tested myself to see how it was gonna be. Nothing, nothing. Just in a way, because I did meditate to say, let me see how to speak to the people too. Because every time I go to certain places, they look at me with such intent, banging on the cigarette box and all of this. They would light it up and all this, all these antics. And so what I got? What are we getting? Come on, man. Come on, man. We getting y'all. We getting played. We getting played, man. If anything that I can share before I cut this video is, I know it'll be tough, but after difficulty comes ease. So I surely got more work to do, and I know you do too. But we need to stop. Listen, we've been dabbling in death, inherently so, and coercively.
The next train arriving on track 1 is going to
When
JFK
does the
Airport,
victim
stopping at
becomes the
several
victor?
circles for hotel
Huh?
shuttles and rental cars, and all airline
Oh,
terminals.
everybody out here trying to play
Please take your
victim. Yeah,
belongings.
you damn right we've been victimized. Victimized, lied to, and coerced. How you think we in these conditions? All in measure. There's no.
The next
The
train
victim
arriving
has to
on
become the
track 2 is
victor.
a Howard Beach train stopping at
Right?
Howard Beach for long-term parking, with connections to the
I
A
know it's gonna
train.
be hard to do these
Please take your
the
belongings
cleansing and all
to
that because the
JFK Airport.
environment itself is filthy. Many things that's airborne out here. A lot of metals. Every time, especially when you're living in the inner city, because every time a car, when them brakes lock, microscopic metals is in the air. In addition to minor levels of asbestos, which is also in some of those pads, right? So we got that. Many levels of ingestation.
Please stand clear.
Many levels
The
of
doors are
ingestation.
closing.
Airborne
Please hold
through
on.
the nostrils if you breathe through the mouth. Inhalation. Skin, which has pores.
This
Skin is the
train is
largest
going to
organ on the body.
JFK Airport, stopping
We
at
got
several
food that may
circles for hotel
contain
shuttles and rental
levels of
cars,
metal.
and all airline terminals.
Anybody ever saw a
Our
raw
next
piece of
stop will be
potassium,
Federal Circle.
a raw ball? Look it up. We have sulfurs, which is a metalloid. What else? That's out there. So we become remotely radioactive. We can become so by those means. Manipulation of radio waves and what's happening with may be taking places with some of these towers that they put up. Yes, I don't conspire and get all spooked out and ooh, yo, they got us. Nah, because I said if it's all about mind control, then why they not controlling our mind to bring heaven on earth if that's the case? Just a question. Anyway, this is why I just don't deal. When people be trying to talk about, yo, just get with Jesus, just get with Christ. No, get with science, okay? Get with science and mathematics. Then we'll start to get into the fact of the matter and narrowing things down, making proper distinctions, and start raising up some rightful seeds. Listen, man, please drop a line. I got more to come. So do you. All right? Stopping it right here, man. I wish you all the best. You have my blessings, truly. You have my blessings, man. I know it's tough to get clean because of what's taking place in these environmental factors. So, you know, big shout outs and salute to all my friends and family that's out there in those southern areas or those areas where they got good foliage, forestry, all of that. That's what's up. The air index quality is way better out there than it is here. We pay a heavy price to live in these inner cities. And damn it, to be paying such a price, we should put more value on our lives and put more value on things where we should be enjoying life in the abundance of it rather than dabbling and dealing with death and all this wickedness. Hence what I was saying before I got to this point of conclusion. But I think a lot of our people just don't get it. Whoever does, does. Whoever have it there, let them hear.
We are arriving at Federal Circle for Hotel
Salute, Ashe. I love y'all.